What if the smallest person in the entire kingdom became the bravest hero of all? Long ago, a young shepherd boy named David faced a giant warrior that no one else dared to fight. This is the story of David and Goliath. Far across a wide valley, two great armies stood facing one another. On one hill stood the Israelite army. On the other stood the powerful Philistine army. Day after day, the soldiers waited nervously, unsure if battle would begin. Then a giant warrior stepped forward from the Philistine camp. His name was Goliath. He was huge and powerful, wearing heavy bronze armor and carrying a massive spear. His loud voice echoed through the valley as he challenged the Israelites to send someone to fight him. But the Israelite soldiers were terrified. No one wanted to face the giant. Even the bravest warriors stepped back in fear whenever Goliath shouted his challenge. For 40 days, the giant returned again and again. Not far away lived a young shepherd boy named David. He spent his days caring for sheep, playing music, and helping his family. David was not a soldier, and he did not wear armor, but he trusted God with all his heart. One day, David visited the battlefield to bring food to his older brothers. As he arrived, he heard Goliath shouting his challenge across the valley. David looked around and saw the fear on every soldier's face. David could not understand why everyone was afraid. He believed that with God's help, even a giant could be defeated. So David volunteered to fight Goliath himself. King Saul offered David heavy armor and weapons. David refused them. David trusted his faith more than armor. Instead, he picked up his shepherd's sling and chose 5 smooth stones from a nearby stream. As David walked into the valley, Goliath laughed when he saw the young shepherd. Soldiers laughing as they mocked the obvious size advantage and skill. The giant mocked and insulted David, shouting angrily on what does his slingshot can do over his weapon. But David stood tall and fearless. David placed a stone into his sling and spun it quickly through the air. Then he released it with all his strength. The stone flew straight toward Goliath and struck the giant on the forehead. Goliath surprised and fell on his knees and collapsed unconscious on the ground. Goliath fell to the ground, and the giant was defeated. The Israelites cheered with joy as David's courage brought victory to the entire kingdom. And from that day on, people remembered that even the smallest person can do great things with faith and courage.